this far, and it was gone.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Austin Lytle, and I am here with Frolfcenter, presented by Frolfer Magazine. I'm joined with the boys as usual, Cody, Adam. How y'all doing tonight? It's the 13th of May. I've got the usual.
The use G13. I'm doing all right, man. We're making fish and chips after the show, so I got a good boy by a bestie by Wild Heaven, which is like a little pub beer. Hey, we just saw the commercial for the TED hats. It says available online on the store. There's one available online in the store. We are almost officially out of hats. We got one golf hat and one TED left, but keep your ear to the ground for a little Boomtown news on the apparel front. Just saying there might be some new stuff.
That goes live tonight at 8 o'clock too, by the way.
Oh, it does. There you go. So that's gonna be fun.
Hate to tell you that, but
I can't wait to see disc golf scene melt down. But before we get too much further, shout out to the dudes at Red's Beer Garden and the 1100 rated high man himself, Mr. Cody Vitale. Cody's muted.
What's
Cody,
up, guys? I'm drinking some Burial tonight. I've been loving the beer.
The friends at Burial.
I'm so jealous.
I'm doing great. Everything's going great. Wednesday dubs got rained out. Happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. Kate had a lot of fun at the women's global event. It looked like you guys had tons of fun too.
Yeah, you guys. How did Kate do?
She did all right, like 150th out of 500 people or something.
Oh, that's pretty great. Yeah. Austin and I went and hung out at the women's global event at Frog Rock, put on by Amanda and Sierra and all the ladies over there. So,
yeah, that was a pretty fun time.
We had a good time.
I had never been around an event where there was so much fun being had. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was
all the events that you go to, like you play MPO, it's all super serious, and it was fun to kind of sit back on the sidelines and just watch so many different people have fun. It was, it reminds you why you play this game.
And we got to eat with Joe Costa, and we had a world champion disc golfer serving tacos.
Super jealous about that.
That was really rad. That was fun.
Yeah,
with a Rectech grill, it just all come together. The whole thing is gelling now. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us on YouTube. If you do follow us on YouTube, you were in for a winning deal there for a stack of Penroses from EV-7 because we got EV-7 on tonight. We've got the man himself though.
Hey, all right. So I want to introduce you guys to one of my kind of mentors in this game. I've always looked up to this guy. I walked out to the local course where I first started playing, and there was a local pro. His name was Phil Arthur, and he was just always there and always winning every tournament at this place. And I just idolized the guy, and I can't believe we're interviewing Mr. Phil Arthur himself tonight.
There he is.
Hey, what's going on, Phil?
What's happening? How are you?
Good.
We are great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You've been on our must get on the show since day one. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys.
We also have another part of EV-7, though, don't we?
I think, he's not here yet, but I think Skinner's going to pop on at some point.
Yeah, we got Skinner.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. So first things first, for the people that don't really know your background story or anything, what got you into disc golf? How long ago was that? Why did you start playing?
Wow. What got me into disc golf was just a chance encounter. I was in Chicago, and I believe it could have been 88 or 89. And I was at Adler Park in Libertyville, just north of Chicago. And there's Skinner. And I was watching some people throw Frisbees at what looked like into the woods. And I was like, man, who's going to throw them back? And that was my first thought of disc golf. I'm like, what are they doing? That doesn't make any sense. And I realized they were playing and throwing to a target. And I went to a local hardware store and bought 2 Vortexes from Discraft. And I threw them, and it just hard left straight in the woods. And they were stable. overstable. And that same day, 4 guys were coming up off the course, and they were part of a group, Sin City Blasters. And those guys took me under their wing. They asked me if I wanted to play around with them. I played around with them. I never played with recreational players or amateur players, not because of a choice I made. It just happened that these guys just kind of adopted me. And I started playing tournaments within a month, I think. They all had nicknames. They nicknamed me the Natural, so that's where my first nickname came from, the Natural. Yeah, I've been playing ever since.
That's not a bad nickname to get.
No, yeah, that's pretty sweet. What about when's the last time you played a full round of disc golf?
The last time a full round. I've been so busy. It's not been that long ago, but a full round of golf was, I think, with Skinner last month.
Nice.
Skinner, while we got you, do you want to do this giveaway, Mr. Skinner, while we got you on the program here?
Yeah, let's do the giveaway.
Let's do a giveaway.
We announced earlier in the week that we're going to do a giveaway to enter. People had to subscribe to the Frolfer YouTube channel. So why don't you guys pick out a person that subscribed recently this week? And
we picked out one, and I liked it. It's Mr. David Latshaw, which is barbecue brownies. You just won the stack of Penroses and every flex they make from EV-7. And I like barbecue brownies because it made me think of baked brownies, and I love baked brownies.
Well, there we go. So David, we'll hit you up on Instagram and get your shipping address and send those out to you this week.
Watch Frolfcenter and win, folks. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Okay, so I've got a question. I've got another question for Phil real quick. Phil, I want to know from the minute you started playing disc golf to the time you decided that it would be more than a hobby for you, how long did that take, and what was the spark?
I played for probably 20 years. I've always been, a husband, a father to my kids, a business owner, and I just traveled and played as often as I could, as far out as I could, and I had a lot of support to do that. I think it was in the mid-2000s. Eric McCabe and I actually were at a tournament in Florida, and I told him even back then that I wanted to make disc. And, that was a long time ago. But I've always kind of watched the sport with an attitude of business-minded approach towards how our sport grows and how it moves and what makes sense to get involved on a business level. As far as, traveling, touring pro, that was right away. The first year I played AM, I think it's important to say everybody, gets into the sport and they want to play and they want to be a pro. Well, learn how to win first, because as an amateur, I learned a lot about winning the first year. And then I went pro at the end of that season, played my first pro tournament, but have been playing pro ever since. I don't know if that answers the question. But
yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you ever see disc golf getting to where it is today? Ever? Like, when did you finally go like, okay, it could make it?
It's going way further than it is now, too. You can be sure. I've watched it, and I've kind of watched the growth and just paid attention. I had a good idea. I'm not just throwing names out there, but this is how it happened. I went to Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, with Paige and Paul, and we met with Dick's Sporting Goods years ago, and they talked about the curve and the sport tipping and going commercial, and we're not there yet. We're very close, but I've just been paying attention. I'm sorry I got off track and got a little reminiscent there, thinking back on a lot of the travel.
I don't want to hear those stories. Keep going on with them.
Yeah. But I think as far as knowing the sport would be where it is today, guys, I've been a part of sporting my entire life, whether it was skateboarding or surfing or whatever it is I got into it, all in. And, skateboarding did a similar thing as disc golf. And I see disc golf so much more because the difference in skateboarding and disc golf is when you fall, you don't break anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You just and keep playing, and the demographic and the age spread is so vast. There's a lot of room there for all of us. But I don't know. I'm again just kind of straying here, but
yeah. What would you be doing, Phil, if disc golf didn't exist? Would you still be skating or something?
I wouldn't be skating just because it hurts when you fall.
Yeah, sure. Understood.
But I've just always been a competitor. So I would be doing something competitively. I would just, if I wasn't doing that, I'd be all in doing something I really enjoy doing. I love to go fishing. Nathan, he's a fishaholic. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh my God, yeah. I think he posts more photos of fish than he does of disc golf at this point.
Yeah. I love saltwater fishing. I enjoy mountain biking. There's nothing like disc golf. There's nothing like watching these things fly. And especially for me, in my mind's eye, I think of a disc and how it should fly and what's required to make it fly a certain way. And then creating something like that from a 2D drawing to a 3D CAD file, modeling the thing and then making it into a product that everybody can throw and enjoy. It's pretty awesome. And I just love to watch these things fly. So I don't know what else I think.
That's how we all get hooked, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's the flight is what gets everybody hooked.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you immediately know the next stage of your life, or did it take you a second to get that moment where you said, all right, it's time to do something new. Let's start EV-7.
Oh yeah. I'm a very purpose-driven individual. If there's no purpose, I'm just going to lose drive to do it. I was driven to compete, and I told my wife years ago, I said, I've watched my friends, travel the world and play these tournaments and win world titles, and I've never really committed to winning a world title. I was 38, 39 years old. I said, I actually want to practice this year and try to win worlds. And so I did that. That was a goal, achieved that goal. After that, we had looked at the sport and how it was growing and the athletes in the sport and how they were being, I think, compensated and just taken care of as a whole. And as a player and traveling with all of these players and seeing the needs of the players individually and collectively, we agreed that it's time that we figure out a way to make and validate these players as legitimate athletes, and pay them. And so that's kind of where the idea for Prodigy developed, and this collective group of players came together and formed that group. And that was another goal. It was let's try to legitimize the disc golf athlete so that they can get a consistent pay, they can be represented by these industry leaders, so that when they go to a bank and they want to buy a car, they have pay history. They have something rather than, I played really good last weekend and won $2,500. They've got history so that they can basically establish and build on that for their own futures. So there was a goal that was set. I think we made an impact in the industry. We made some changes that affected the way everybody approached the touring athlete. And for me, it wasn't about being part of a corporate structure. It was about making change and developing something that was unique and cool that we could all really, I think, be a part of and enjoy. And it was time for a change. Again, I set another goal. for me, I've always wanted to develop a property and build a facility on it, a world-class track on it. Even my home on the same property, have places where people can come and stay and enjoy the property. I see, sometimes I scratch my head when I see, because like Skinner, I love to go fishing. I love saltwater fishing. And I go out there and I see boats that are $5 million to go catch a fish.
Yeah.
Right? Go catch a $5 million. And I'm like, well, I would much rather put $5 million into 200 acres and disc golf facility and Airbnbs and create an environment and a culture that our community would just be like, wow, that is really sick. And so that's kind of a new goal for me. And so I've set that goal. EV-7 is kind of a vehicle to get me there. But it's a new goal.
So what was the idea behind the name EV-7?
This was, I guess, last year. I'm trying to think, maybe April, May, June-ish. I was in my living room, and I have a thing, I have a passion for, the truth. I've studied apologetics for a lot of years, and a lot of you may not know what that is, but it's a Greek word. Apologia means to give a reason for. But in the pursuit of understanding and knowing the truth, I learned a lot about a lot of different things. One being evolving, evolution, and not vertical evolution, horizontal evolution, adaptation, survival of the fittest. Developing and growing from your experience and getting better. 7 is considered by many as a perfect number. And so EV-7 is evolve towards perfection. Always pursue being better. Always pursue the next level. And if you don't know what that level is, find out. And pursue it,
that's what EV-7 is.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Skinner, I got some questions for you real quick. So what's your involvement in EV-7?
So I guess historically, I've had a relationship with Phil for a long time. Back in like 2010, 2011, when I was still in college, Phil reached out to me after he asked some people for a graphic designer to work on, Prodigy and his previous projects. So I've been working with Phil since 2010. And then I worked at Prodigy, obviously, for a couple of years. Austin knows that. Worked with Austin for a little bit. Worked with like Matt Eatman and some of the OGs back in the day. And I left Prodigy to go.
Adam, you're the only person here who hasn't worked for Prodigy.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I did buy a lot of their plastic, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I guess in like 2013 or 14, I left Prodigy to pursue my full-time career as a designer. And I progressed more into web development, which is what I do full-time now. And so last year, Phil came back and said, hey, we worked great together previously. Do you want to work with me again? I have this project I'm working on. I need some branding. I need a website. Can you help me? And I said, absolutely, I'm all in. And so here I am.
Nice.
So I helped Phil with the branding behind EV-7 and then kind of the platform that we base everything around, our website. So everything that we do as far as, sales and advertising, everything I have kind of hands in.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I heard you might have a Frolfcenter exclusive for us tonight.
We do have a Frolfcenter exclusive.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. By the way.
I am so excited too. So part of one of my weird roles has kind of been evolving into like sort of a team manager, kind of for the more local people. So Nate Goodwin, Jamie Keep are two people locally in the Atlanta, Georgia area that we signed. Nate Goodwin was like the most obvious choice to sponsor of all time. Absolutely. Because when he should have been sponsored already, one of the best putters around, amazing teacher of the game. Jamie also another no-brainer, like the nicest guy ever, and just a huge representative for the sport and
great
for the causes
style.
he gets behind.
A lot of pink
style too.
A lot of pink pants. Yeah.
The next person kind of, in my mind, embodies one of our core principles. We have a core principle at EV-7 that says the light that shines farthest shines brightest at home. It's kind of what I call a philosophy. Phil has a lot of these like little
Yeah,
sayings.
the philosophy.
That's one of
We've
them.
been talking about philosophies for 2 days.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
it,
one of them. And this person really embodies that. She has been playing disc golf for a little over a year now. Has been killing it on the disc golf scene. But really, what really sold us on her was her ability to lead and be a vocal activist in the Atlanta disc golf scene and really change disc golf for the ladies in the sport. So we're really excited to announce that we're going to sponsor Sierra Buford.
Nice.
Hey.
So stoked for it. It's going to be awesome. She just helped run and organize the PDGA Global Women's event here in Atlanta. I think next week she's flying out to
Put her back up there.
the Women's Championship out in California, wherever it is. So pretty excited about that.
That's huge, and congratulations to Sierra.
Yeah,
That's much deserved.
We hung out with Sierra all weekend, and she was so mum about it. You sent me that graphic earlier today, and I was completely shocked. I was like, oh my God.
yeah.
She said nothing. No one knew.
Well, yeah, and they were awesome the other week when they did the women's takeover at Frolfcenter. That was sweet too.
Dude, that was so awesome.
It was great for us. We just sat
was
back. I was just
great for us. We got to take a Thursday off.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is there anything, I mean, we're going to get more into this in a little bit, but is there anything in particular that y'all look for? Obviously, the shining light thing, but anything you're really looking for in a new athlete?
Something stand out to you? Yeah.
The biggest thing for us is we don't really look for people. We kind of take inventory of our sponsored athletes already and say, who can we add to this to make it better? So a lot of that comes from personal relationships. Drew and Mello Weibel, they obviously have a personal relationship with Phil. And relationships matter because to us, it's not just how good of an athlete you are, but what kind of person you are too. Not saying that most touring pros aren't great people, because they are. But like, as far as the local players, it's people who are really making a difference locally and growing the sport and moving the sport in the right direction. And so Nate and Jamie and now Sierra obviously really fit the bill there. We also signed a deal with Trinity, a girl down in Jacksonville. Her and her family are like the Jacksonville's version of Disc Family Robinson. Okay. Just a family of disc golfers that are awesome. And she's just learning the sport, but it's kind of one of those concepts of like from scratch to scratch, taking a person that's never, that's barely played before and helping develop them into a really good player. So that's kind of where what our direction with Trinity is as well. And I think she's going to be a phenomenal athlete as she grows in the sport, and she's a phenomenal kid. So we're really excited about that too.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Trinity, as well. But we're going to root for Sierra. She's the hometown girl, so
Oh, for sure, Sierra.
That's a huge sign.
Yeah.
Contrast, and now EV-7. I think Sierra might be the most famous pro in Atlanta right now.
And we keep giving her drops every week.
Every week, she's been on the show like
Congrats.
19 times. I don't know. It's crazy. Yes, Sierra should host the show one time.
Yeah, but to answer your question,
you should host the women's distance.
Yeah. But to answer your question thoroughly, it's personal relationship. It's what are you doing to grow the sport? It's are you good or are you trending in the direction of being great? And I think, that's kind of where we're at right now. So
nice.
Trending towards greatness.
Trending to be greatness.
Good spot to be. All right, very good. Thanks, man.
All right, so Phil, I gotta know, man. Is there a single like business mentor out there that you look up to when you're coming up with all your businesses? I mean, you're a businessman, you said about it. Is there like a particular idol you look at?
No, I've had mentors in my life that are not your typical business person. They're people leaders, people, and business is really quite easy. It's not a difficult thing. The difficult part is people, and just understanding and kind of meeting people where they are. And so my influences with regards to business have really developed from I think wanting to know and understand individuals. And it's like one of the things that really has stuck with me for a long time is develop relationships, and the business just happens. It just comes. But if it's all about business and you people become tools for your gain or your furtherance, it just becomes like burnt bridges all over the place. So for me, I think business is relatively simple. It's most business models. If you kind of run the process, if it's good business, if it's a good business plan, and if you got good product, it's going to do well.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people struggle with understanding how to, basically pursue their passions and actually make good business decisions, because random impersonal chance doesn't produce greater complexity in an organization. It only creates chaos. The probability of anything you do evolving or growing to a greater measure of success by chance is just not going to happen. So you just need to understand how to get to where you want to go. And if you don't know, ask somebody who does. For me, I think it's been fundamentally just putting the building blocks in place and allowing the process to get me to each next step.
Exactly. One brick at a time, I believe, is the term we're looking for.
Right.
So what made you decide to go just putters with EV-7? Is this just a start? Are you coming up with more? So what is to come?
Well, I don't like lock myself in or get stuck in any one place. But the brand around putters, I think about Scotty Cameron. That was an influence.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have an industry like ours that is just blowing up, and so many people play. So many people are brand loyal, but at the same time, there's so much room for growth. And I felt like we're at a time in our sports, growth that it would support a putter specific brand, and it's something that I'm excited to pursue and see how it works out.
I feel like if there was a Scotty Cameron to disc golf, it would be Phil Arthur.
Yeah, and the other aspect
to all the golf people out there, that's what it is.
Yeah, the other aspect of that too is like putters are the most personal part of disc golf, right? Like a person can really change their game and change their focus and their confidence in the putting by having the right putter. Not because, well, yeah, some putters do outperform others, but just more because it feels right. It makes you feel right. Like the whole putters are a personal part of disc golf is a real driving force behind what we do with EV-7. So to me, that's one of the core reasons that I got behind it with Phil.
Okay, so here's the question, and you kind of led into some stuff we're going to talk about. I'm going to get back to the question you just highlighted, Austin, in a second. But this mixed bag sponsorship thing is kind of coming into its own right now, and it's always been a little bit of a thing, but now it's really a thing. The putter only one makes sense. The putter is the fingerprint of the player. That's where you see the most unique style. That's where you see the most wins and losses in the putting. Do you think we're going to start seeing driver-only sponsorships or mid-only sponsorships? I mean, putters make sense as the first break-off. Will there be another break-off?
I mean, there's people on the Pro Tour. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's people on the on the golf tour who have TaylorMade as their irons and drivers.
Right. And irons and drivers.
But with Scotty Cameron putters.
It's different in golf. I guess I'm going to ask. I'll ask Phil first. I'll come back to you, Nathan. But Phil, do you see this going beyond just putter offshoots, or do you think we're going to split the whole bag up?
I don't think the entire bag is going to get split up because the model's not there for that. But it is there for like Cobra drivers. It is there for opportunities for I think a series of drivers from one brand potentially. But also every club in the middle as a potential brand. But I think one-offs here and there, with the putter, like Nathan was sharing, it is a very personal part of the game, and there are so many different styles of putts, so many different size hands. There's so many variations to the putter. And for me, that was one of the attractions was I have scheduled about 22 models that I've already drawn up, and they'll come out in the time that it makes sense to send them out. But there's every variation under the sun.
Every variation, Phil, because you're talking to a polecat guy, and I want to know: are we going to get a lid?
Well, here's the thing. What I want to do. Did you say are we going to get a lid?
A lid. Yeah, I'm a polecat putter. I mean, I'm not seriously.
Yeah.
I'm a polecat guy. Anything? Any deep dish coming from you?
This is my goal. I want every putter that we make to be an advancement. And you say, how do you advance a putter? Well, there's a lot of ways you can advance a putter. And in any disc, you think the drivers have reached their max, they haven't. There's a lot of technologies and things that we can move and push forward, even with what we're seeing today, with our drivers. But there's a lot of room for advancement in the putter performance, and there's subtleties, but it's a very sensitive, subtle part of the game. And I think if it feels good and you feel confident with it, you're going to play better with it. My goal is to just make it a little better each time we bring one out.
Nice.
Okay, so I've got one other question for you on that. Because of the way Infinite Discs has started this mixed bag sponsorship, and it is splitting up a little bit, and I know some of the big guys are looking at this and getting nervous or getting a little antsy about it. Have you heard any pushback from anybody on this? Well, you're stealing my guy who used to sell AVRs or whatever for me.
No, not yet.
Good.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think it's for most people it's kind of a novel idea. They're like, well, that's cool, but really, how's it going to do? I think it's going to be just fine.
I think it's been working wonders for a guy who did not putt so well, who's now hasn't placed outside the top 10 in the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Phil, what was the most daunting part of going from where you were to get into EV-7? What weighed on you the heaviest in that move?
Back to the relationships. They're all very important. And you don't have to lose relationships when you move. It's just a different season in life. But I enjoy being a part of that relational consistency on a day-to-day. So, that would have been the difficult part. The business logic behind moving towards doing something that I want to pursue and that I'm passionate about, is I think it's important to follow and just, if you feel like it's time to make a change or to move or to do what you want to do, make sure it's the right thing for you and do it.
Good.
I actually started my own company last year as well.
Nice.
Not throwing frisbees. It's not competition.
Yeah, I'm not throwing frisbees.
Don't worry about that.
Pools, but I know you've probably had hundreds, maybe thousands of disc designs. You've definitely produced a ton of discs in your life. From the first idea of a disc you have, or the first thought to the finished product, how long do you think that takes you on average?
If somebody asked me to design a disc for them right now from scratch, all they'd have to do is give me the attributes they want, the performance, the type of flight, and the systems that are available to us today compared to just 10 years ago are pretty incredible. What used to take me, 40 hours of 2D sketching and figuring and all of the thought that goes into designing a disc. I probably could draw a disc from scratch and have it in a 3D model within 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's the understanding is really critical. understanding the dimensions and what you want the product to do in the end. Because what's available to us now with the CAD file systems, the 3D modeling and all of that is incredible. So they're just leaps forward with regards to design time.
Phil, can I ask, from the first time you sketched the Penrose to the first time you sold a Penrose, what was that length of time right there?
Well,
that's a good question, Adam.
Yeah. There's 8 to 10 weeks of mold fabrication, right? There's 3 to 4 weeks of PDGA approval after you've sampled the mold.
Sure.
I typically will sample a mold, and if I don't like it, I'll clean it up or I'll retool it. I'll go back to my CAD file and I'll do something to make it a little better or change what I didn't like about it. So typically, if it's something that I'm developing from scratch and I want it to be my own personal expression, it's probably 4 months.
Okay.
Right. The Penrose was about 4 months. If it's something that I'm developing for somebody and they tell me what they want, it's a lot different because it's a lot easier. It's not an expression of me. It's just it's me giving you what you want, you know. If for example, if Nathan, I say, could you design this for me? And he'll say, sure, there it is. But if I say, can you design this for me and actually make it what you would like to, then another level of attention, you know, kind of takes
another week added on to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the art you make to keep versus the art you make to sell, or something like that in a weird way. You know what I mean?
And just to be clear, it doesn't make, if you request something from me and I design it for you, it doesn't make it any less a product. It's just for me, I'm really wanting to create a specific thing. And if I do that and I make it and cut the steel and mold the disc and it doesn't do what I want, I'll just go back and change it a little bit.
Cool.
Oh, is it me?
You got one more. You got a hot one now. You got a hot one.
So what's your favorite putter besides the Penrose?
Well, right now it's the 5 because it's amazing.
No, what is your favorite putter not EV-7? Is what Cody meant to ask.
That's what he meant to ask. Because what's the best putter that you don't make?
Yeah, I think the best putter that I don't make would be a toss-up between the KC Big Beat AVR and the Prodigy PA4 and the 300 series plastic.
Whew, the PA4 was that's how I got into polecats. I was a PA4. It was my gateway drug to polecats, but the whole different story right there. So anywho.
Right.
So this is a question for you, Phil, or maybe Nathan, whoever knows the answer. How many Penroses, or I guess I should say, how many putters have you guys made yet this far?
Well, I don't want to give away anything by sharing too much information, but I've made 37,000 Penroses.
Wow.
Okay, I asked that question in a particular order to maybe release the information that's coming.
We've sold 60 hats and we feel pretty good about it. So hats off to you, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dun, dun. So what's the 5-year plan for EV-7, Phil?
It's the release of multiple models, more than likely 22 or more, over the next 5 years. I actually had scheduled 10 this year, 12 next year, and with the reception we've had for the Penrose, it was clear that that's a bit much, mostly because of machine time, not because of anything else. And so I've already made or taken measures to put ourselves in a position to run the 5 the same way we're running the Penrose. And also the next model right after this one, I've basically already put everything in place so that we can meet this demand as it comes.
There's another Frolfcenter exclusive for you guys. We just dropped the name of the new putter for the first time, really. So
there it is.
There you go. It's going to be the 5 because it's based on the building block of the golden ratio. So,
that's right. You got the old Fibonacci deal going. I saw that the other day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So now we know it's a 5. That's 2 Frolfcenter exclusives in one episode, and we haven't done that since the New Year's episode when everybody was drinking. So this is fantastic. So
there you go.
To answer the 5-year plan, I don't know if some of you may have seen a post recently on Facebook where I found some property. So the 5-10 year, the 5-year is really important to me. Release product, which is important, but I want to establish and build a disc golf destination facility that is really unique. I want to build our distribution facility on the property. Manufacturing will stay on a different site because it's just too important to keep it separate. My goal is to have at least one injection machine and equipment in the distribution facility with pro shop and additional things so that people can tour the facility, see this being made kind of in a glass room scenario, and also have the design room so you can basically walk in the front door, see inventory, see a disc design, see a disc made, walk out the back door and throw it on the course.
Just like you're on the conveyor belt yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And I want the course. We've seen disc golf courses designed and developed on ball golf courses, on state parks, on private property. But I would like to actually go in and really move earth and change, make fairways that were clearly designed specifically for disc golf. And so my goal is to do that over the next 5-10 years. It's moving a lot faster than I anticipated, but we're kind of holding the reins. There's so much going on that's really positive, and the plans that I'll share soon for some Airbnbs on the property are really unique and cool. So those are the goals.
I love everything I'm hearing.
Yeah. You went ahead and answered like the next 2 questions I had to ask, but
so it's perfect. Yeah, Phil, you've been.
I'm beyond blowing your goal. Inspiration.
Yeah, you've been so thorough. We've been erasing questions in the script. Like, well, you answered that one. Well, you answered that one. So thank you so much.
Exactly.
But it's fun question time now. Now it's time to have a good time.
I've been having fun.
Oh yeah, so are we, of course.
Yeah. So you're one of the only pros I've ever seen throw righty and lefty during a tournament. No hesitation. What brought that on?
I injured myself at Worlds in Charlotte. I don't remember what year it was because there were 2 years, but I believe it was the first time they had it in Charlotte. And the day before the tournament started, I was practicing warming up, and I tore something, I don't remember, in my right arm, and it was painful, and I couldn't throw it. I could barely putt, but I could putt, and I was like, well, I'm here. I'm not going home. So I played left-handed, and by midweek I made the cut and was throwing pretty good shots. And by the end of the week, I was like, oh, this is something that could really be good. So I just kept working on it.
Phil, can I ask you a question? I'm going to jump in on this because I skateboarded and snowboarded growing up, and we had riding switch or riding fakie or whatever.
Yeah, goofy.
Is it one of those things where you have to just let the brain tell your body it's going to work?
Yeah, I think part of my philosophy is don't think, just execute. And so one of the things I did while I was at the hotel at Worlds is I looked in the mirror. I threw right-handed, and I looked at my form, and then I turned around and I threw left-handed. And I just I had someone videotape me so that my mechanics were somewhat similar. And then I just grinded it out until I could throw comfortably during a tournament.
That's amazing.
Real quick, Craig Dickerson remembers you shooting 17 down to Sequoia some years ago. What hole did you not get?
Shot 18 down.
It was a cut through. I had a cut through on hole. What is hole 1 now?
Oh.
Wow.
That's it. Wow, that's amazing.
So I know you're getting a little older, but if every pro was forced to throw 9 holes right-handed, 9 holes left-handed, how do you think you'd stack up? You think you'd win?
Oh, if everybody was forced to throw 9 and 9? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He says.
There we go.
I mean, obviously, give me 2 weeks to get tuned up, and I challenge anybody.
Ooh, you hear that, Scott?
Hey.
There we go.
Yeah, hey.
I say that so that somebody will speak up and give me a reason to go practice.
There we go.
Somebody,
I'm sure
somebody
will.
tag Scott Stokely.
Yeah.
He's not going lefty spin.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. True. Will we see you at any events this year?
It's hard to get away to go to events to play. I might be able to show up and watch some of you guys play, but it's an extremely busy time.
We get it. Trust us.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I want to know, Phil, and I'm going to ask from here on out, since it's all the fun questions, we're going to go Phil and Skinny both. Phil, what's your favorite course you've ever played, and what's one course that you're dying to play that you haven't played yet?
I like it's probably not the not the most attractive or aesthetically pleasing course. I think Waterworks in Kansas City is just a beautiful track for a public park. It's so cool. But De La Vega is one of my favorite courses in Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
We know De La, yeah.
it's such a challenge, and it's true that place has a personality and a mind of its own. It's like people say you got daylight, and what's interesting is Sequoia gives you. I've always said,
Sequoia
rolls all the time. Yeah, it's tough. There's so many courses you play. I struggle to pick one. I think White was an amazing course, huh?
What's one that maybe you haven't gotten to yet, but you're dying to get to?
I think I'd like to go out to Europe, that thing UC's working on, the island parks, and just experience that, because I think it's very cool.
Have you played Kale's Preserve yet?
I haven't played Kale's Preserve yet.
I feel like that's something you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like here in the South, like Kale's Preserve kind of seems like something what's going on, like what you're looking at the property.
Right.
All right, so Skinny, your favorite course.
All right, favorite course is
the
Trophy.
course you haven't been to yet that you want to get to.
My favorite course is Trophy Lakes in Charleston, South Carolina. Hands down, my favorite course I've ever played in my life. It's on a wakeboarding and water skiing facility. So you're playing a ton of water, ton of par fours, a couple par fives. It's a great track.
Nice.
Dream course, there's two. I want to play the Preserve. I think what I've seen on video, Kale's done an amazing job. And then the other one is I want to go to Zambia and play the courses that Eagles Wings Disc Golf has designed out there in Africa, and really experience what disc golf is doing out in Africa.
Awesome. Great.
That's
great.
awesome.
I love it. We're going to Phil back down here. The Chiron's messed up. I got it fixed now. Sorry. This will be fun. I'm excited for this answer.
Yeah, I want to know what Phil Arthur would do as the president of the PDGA. I'm not going to just say for a week. What is your first order of business when we put Phil Arthur in the presidency at the PDGA?
Yeah, that's interesting.
You probably don't even want it, huh?
I wouldn't want anything to do with it, but
yeah, I figured as much. But I'm going to put you in the spot.
The reason for that is there's so much that goes into that role that people don't understand, and it's an unfair position to be in, because you're balancing so many different parts. Ultimately, you can say anything, and I don't do politics, but you got to listen, and effectively move in a direction that your people are asking you to move in. What more could you ask if that's what what's being done.
Can we tag every member of the PDGA board at the moment?
Oh, let's not do that. Let's not. Hey, we're not that popular yet.
Yeah. I think it's a thankless job. I've known most everybody who's had the role quite well, and I don't understand some of the stuff that goes on. Like most of us, we would just scratch our heads. But I think ultimately, for me, it would be try to manage myself into a place where effective change would be possible. If you've got your basically all the people that are members of the PDGA saying, this is what I want. All right, let's go that way. Then you go that way, but you don't have that. So it's a really difficult thing to answer. I think as far as a touring player goes, I think we've all had this discussion on the road, is make the tour make sense. Other than that,
the Texas swing and the Florida swing and the West Coast swing and then the East Coast swing and then West Coast.
Just make it a circle, like
NASCAR does or used to do. They're kind of
it's all left turns in NASCAR.
Yeah, that's right. You just go in a circle around the country. I think you just start in Montreal and then Watkins Glen, just come around. Yeah, Skinner, first week as the PDGA president. What are you doing?
Put Brian Gort in charge of the rating system.
Yes.
Woo! That's an
Brian Gort wants nothing to do with it, just like Phil Arthur.
But seriously, I would address the ratings issue because I feel like ratings are really weird.
Ratings are just a number that people think are highly revealed.
Probably the other thing too is this is a fairly controversial thing, but I've been talking a lot to actually a couple of people on the touring committee about it. Some from the pros I know, and I want to split the PDGA to a true pro side and then have an amateur.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
that.
That is
we've
awesome.
talked about
If
that
also
so
let
many
him
times.
get rid of the step putt and have an ADGA, this boy right here would just die. He would die of happiness.
That's what I want to. I mean, that's what I want to do.
That makes sense. All right.
I would be ADGA president. I'd do a great job.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would.
Okay,
but
not anymore.
You could try. All right, let's get Phil back on for that second half of this question, Austin.
And no, I think we kind of touched on it. Like he said something about the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Like it's the Pro Tour is something that needs to happen, and I think Nathan said did as well. There's a difference between the ADGA and the PDGA.
All right. So this is first question is seeing the players out there nowadays. If you got to pick one to be your world's doubles partner, who would it be?
is that for me?
Yeah, for Phil.
Yeah.
A world's doubles partner right now, any player.
Any player you want.
Yep.
I world's doubles partner.
As good as a putter as you are, you better take Drew.
Right. Drew's a good choice.
I mean, he throws far.
He throws far. Drew works for me. My first thought was Ricky because he's just on fire.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
fire.
on a rocket right now.
That's cheating.
I know Drew and I would make a well, actually, I don't know if Drew would have me because I haven't been playing.
All right.
All right. So what about non-disc golfer, a celebrity doubles partner? If we did a celebrity charity event.
Yeah. Are you asking me again? Or
Yeah.
Phil, and then we'll go to
Celebrity non-disc golfer.
Oh man, I don't have. Let's see. I have this thing about respecting people for who they are, not what they do. So that's difficult. Celebrity, Tiger Woods. Why not?
Hey, nice.
He's looking.
That'd be
He's going to have
fun.
to rehab that leg. A little hiking in the woods with a backpack's going to help him out.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, Nate, we got to hit you. These are the fun ones. Who'd be your and not, I guess, world doubles partner? Who would be your player of choice to play with? Who do you think you'd pair well with?
I'm going party card because we all know I'm not going to be in contention. So I'm going Trevor Herbolt because I know that's going to be a good time.
Yeah, dude. Trevor Herbolt uses Twitter slightly more than I do, and that's terrifying.
No, Trevor and I are really good friends. I've known him forever. I've been doing his designs for a long time for him and Pixie, and literally one of the coolest guys on tour. And so Trevor Herbolt, hands down.
How about celebrity doubles partner?
Celebrity, I'm going again. Good time. So Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's that's like a 4-time Bill Murray answer.
That's a 4-time Bill Murray. What's the
Four
secondary answer to that?
Secondary answer to that would probably be Keanu Reeves.
That'd be good.
All right.
On the card.
That'll be the nicest round of disc golf you ever play.
It would be.
I think it would be. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, Phil. Phil, I've got to ask you. This is a big question here.
This is a big question.
This is a question, and take your time. Who's the GOAT? Who's the best? Who's the best to ever do it?
Greatest of all time.
The greatest of all.
Disc golfer, yeah.
I think it's a good question because the GOAT has to pave the way for the greatest to come.
Mm-hmm.
And without that, there are no greats.
Mm-hmm.
Preach.
So Kleinel is the GOAT. He's always been the GOAT, and he'll always be the GOAT because without his achievements, these people have nothing to strive toward. And they're trying to make a name for themselves in history and become the GOAT. But
I always say LeBron wouldn't hit those numbers if Jordan didn't change the game.
all right.
It's the same thing. Kleinel changed the game.
I've played with Champ.
Mm-hmm.
I've played with all the best players. I've known every world champion for the last 33 years. I've played with Paul. Paul's an amazing player, no doubt. He's the best in the game. Ricky, what can you say? These guys are incredible. But Kleinel,
The greatest of all time.
He pushed where there was, there wasn't. It's just different. And he, he's definitely, in my opinion, the GOAT.
I got a box of
I love it.
Casey Pros behind me that just cheered loudly. I could hear them. So, all right, Skinny, who's the GOAT for you, bud?
The GOAT for me is Paige Pierce.
Yes, I love that answer. I think she is the GOAT.
Although
we got Elaine in 2 weeks, and we're gonna ask Elaine this question and see what she says.
Elaine's amazing. I'm not. All due respect to Elaine, you're not going to find.
I think Juliana Korver is.
You'd be hard pressed to find a more winning and dominant winner on the tour, both men and women. Elaine, and the closest person that's Paige. Paige is a dominant force.
He's on Mount Rushmore. Elaine is on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, for sure. But Paige currently is just such a dominant force in disc golf. She dominates
I think when
her division more than like Paul and Ricky dominate currently. Obviously, Phil's right. The right answer is Kenny, but like if you take Kenny out, to me, it's Paige.
Yeah, Paige is kind of the new generation of GOATs, kind of thing.
Hey, Skinny. While I got you here, what's the Waffle House order?
The Waffle House order is going to be a large order of hash browns, scattered, covered, diced, with 2 eggs over easy on top.
Perfect.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Phil.
Now we gotta know. We're excited about this one, Phil.
My Waffle House?
Yeah,
Waffle House order, Phil.
Yeah, it's pecan waffle dark with a side of bacon and some orange juice.
Dude, it was so quick. I love this. I love
You
having
were such a simple guy. Like, it's the same guy that walks in a racetrack and gets a hot dog and a Red Bull and walks out.
Yep. Right on. That is so good. Phil, we got a couple of viewer questions. If you got a couple minutes still?
Yeah.
Well, I think Austin, you have to dip out. Or are you good?
No, we're good. Let's roll it.
We're good. Well, let's roll it. Felix Vega wants to know, what's your favorite ice cream topping?
Ice cream topping.
Yes.
Thanks, Felix.
Yeah, I don't eat ice cream.
Okay.
Let's go.
I do eat ice cream, very rarely. I don't put anything on it.
What are you putting on them hot dogs from racetrack?
Nothing.
Just straight up hot dog.
I don't. I'm that simple. I don't do bread because there's gluten in it. And there's a whole story behind that. I have an occasional jalapeno dog from racetrack without the bun, just a fork.
There you go. Okay, and one more. We have one more viewer question. How do we invest in EV-7? How do we invest? That's Keith Tingley wants to give you money.
Yeah.
Where's the Bitcoin cent?
When I first made the mention of me, making an exit and starting a new direction, the need for investment was needed in just a few small areas. I think investing into Prodigy, or not Prodigy, but for us, EV-7, investing into what we're doing and moving forward would just be, watch what we're doing. If you like what we're doing, buy our product. There's a few things that we're really excited about announcing and releasing coming up. There's an incredible contest that I've been working on that I'm truly excited about. There'll be some special releases that are actually designed around generating revenues for specific parts of the development of the properties. So if you're listening and you want to invest in what we're doing and believe in what we're doing,
when can we get one of them sweet hats you're wearing? I know you're a hat guy.
Yeah, working on that. I think sooner than later. I've met with a group that can put all that stuff together for us in pretty short order, and we're working on it. So soon.
Awesome.
One more viewer question. Patrick Lowery wants to know, who is your favorite person with the last name Lowery?
Patrick.
Oh, there it is. All right, Patrick, you got your 2 seconds of internet fame. Have a good time with it.
All right, so last question for both of you guys. Phil, I'll ask you first. Do you have any questions or advice for us at Frolfcenter Magazine?
Questions or advice? You guys keep doing what you're doing. I don't have any advice. If you want some advice, ask me and I'll give it to you. Just keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
No, thanks, bud. Thanks. We're gonna get. I want to hear this one. This will be fun.
I want to hear this one.
You got any questions or advice for us, Leonard Skinner?
Leonard
Advice,
Skinner.
Absolutely got advice for you guys. Talk to Contrast and get your own Frolfcenter beer.
Yeah, I've been telling him. I want Galaxy hops. He wants Imperial hops. We'll just throw them all in there.
Be Thirsty Thursday.
And
Let's call it Thirsty Thursday.
works.
That'd be pretty good.
I think you should do it and plug it. And then any questions? All right, Austin, I got a question for you. If you had to play around against Adam and Cody, what handicaps are you giving them?
Their ratings.
You tell them what you think, Austin, because we've done this before.
Their ratings. It is 1 stroke per 10 points.
1 stroke per 10 points.
So you're 990.
And how much? And how much?
I'm 995. You guys are 885.
So I get 10 strokes.
I would give you 10 to 11 strokes.
Do we need to talk about when you were holding tag number 3 and you said I could play shorts at the tracks and you played longs and I beat you at 2 strokes?
That is not right. No. Okay, hey, you guys have a great night.
Hey,
I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. This is getting into Frolfcenter personal.
This is getting to Frolfcenter. We're going to bring Phil back for one more. Phil, I want to say thank you very much for coming on.
Dude, Phil, thank you, man.
Incredibly fun. Thank you. I'm going to put you on the big screen, let you tell everybody what they need to know about following EV-7, supporting EV-7. Anything you want to say, you've got the floor. It's all yours. Thank you so much once again.
All your digital coins for EV-7, everything.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Just like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, everything else we're doing. We're looking at starting a TikTok account so that we can actually track some of the participants in the contest that we're about to share. So just follow us, participate in what we're doing, and let us appreciate you for all you do.
All right. Thank you, Phil. We appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Phil, Nathan, thank you, guys.
Woo! All right. Classic episode. Instant classic. The great interview, says Kevin Jung. All right, cool.
Hey, y'all, dude, if you guys don't recognize who that was.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That is one of the people on my Mount Rushmore of disc golf.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Like, he goes right next to Barry Schultz's face.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on
EV-7
lit. I need a big, thick EV-7 polecat. I'm going to be so happy.
I don't know if you guys have ever
you tell the man, and he might make it.
Might just happen. Austin, you want to say goodbye so you can go to your softball thing?
Yeah, I've got to go to a softball podcast. If you guys want to keep following me, I'm on some other podcast. I can't even send you a link.
Okay.
I don't even know where it's at, but bye.
Bye.
Awesome Idol.
How 2021 of Austin be like, I gotta leave. I've got another podcast I gotta get on. What the hell?
Well,
I feel
again,
like
guys,
Vegas
that
is
is
history.
EV-7discgolf.com. EV-7discgolf.com. They've got, they've made 30,000 Penroses. They must be good.
37,000.
37,000. They look pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's putting with them and they're loving them. So that's pretty awesome, including our homegirl, Sierra Buford, one more time. Congrats, Sierra. We're really happy for you. This is awesome. All right, guys. Next week, we've got one of my favorite disc golfers. And just because, first of all, she's a badass. And second of all, her Instagram stuff she's a top-notch social media disc golfer as well. It's Kat Merch, who I'm super pumped on. She's touring for the first time. She's got a van she built out. Nice. She's doing turmeric shots in the back of the van and sort of liking them, even though she doesn't like turmeric. You've got to watch her stories on Instagram. They're fantastic. So Kat Merch next week. Week after that, we got Elaine King. I know. I'm Adam. I'm going to Panama City. That's why I'm wearing my jellyfish. So somebody tag Garrett Cooper. Tell him to come drink at Sharky's.
Okay. Again, guys, huge thanks to Phil Arthur. If you guys don't know who that is, you should just read a little bit of disc golf history and you will know. Again, thanks to everybody. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
Shoppers, can I get a fucking oh yeah? Thank you.